Woo! Welcome to Cabo. I just hope you have the same experience or better that we've had so far. This place is easily one of my favorite places in the entire world. The people are so calm, they're so inviting, they're so welcome. When you walk around, you're like, oh my God, where am I? Like, this just feels like mood. For real. But like, no matter what you want to do, if you want to have adventure, go off-roading in the dune buggies. If you want to chill, have one of the most iconic views while having dinner. Also, what about the water out here though?
It is crystal blue. You can go on an amazing boat, have views of the rocks, go snorkeling. It's warm, and I agree. Look at these views. These views are literally everywhere. I can't believe we're only 2 hours away from LA.
Literally 2 hours away. But what we're gonna show you in this video is like what you need to know, right? How to stay safe, best activities, and if you have $100 a night budget, you know, how to rock out. Or if you wanna spend $1,500 a night. I've literally done it both this week. You're looking at $1,500 a night right now, but I've also did $100 a night. I'm gonna show you it all. No matter what the budget, you can come out here and vibe and have the best time. But anyway, cheers to you as well. So if there's a luck side to Mexico and you on the beach and it's an ultimate vibe, it's probably Cabo. And that's probably why this is the place in Mexico where you'll never be surprised to see anyone. If it's a billionaire, if it's your favorite celebrity, they're probably gonna be hanging out in Cabo also because it's 2 hours away from LA. And I had one purpose for this trip, and it was just pure enjoyment. So I've been working hard, and I just wanted a spot that I could go easy from California, that I could just kind of let my hair down. Yeah, I ain't really got much. And you know, just have fun. And this trip was a lot more chill because of Corona, right? And so for me, my motto is a lot like the late great Nipsey: small cruise, ocean views. And that was kind of the vibe that I had there. So there was no crazy nightlife. And things that I've been actually to Cabo before for my boys' bachelor party. Shout out to Quan, and congrats on your new baby boy. And so he's my homie from back in Chicago. So this was just a real chill vibe, small cruise, and we was just enjoying to the fullest. And so what you're gonna do is roll around with us through Cabo. Let's get it. So let's talk about accommodations. And so one important thing for me in life is I just don't wanna look back and say, man, you know, I was alive, but I never lived while I was here. And so accommodations are a big part of living for me. And so the first place that we stayed at, I was looking on Airbnb, and so we got a dope ass 3-bedroom spot in a perfect part of town. And guess the price for this spot? $95 a night. So when I got there, I couldn't believe how good it was. The master bedroom had just an incredible view. You could actually see the arc from the window. And I was like, what? And then the living room was good, internet was great. They've got security in the building. They've got this amazing pool outside where you can have drinks and food. I literally feel like I underpaid for the spot. And so I actually put a poll on my Instagram. I was scrolling through. And I was like, how much do you think this is? People just guessing. And everyone was guessing between $300 to $400 a night. Now, let me talk about one of the best villas that I've ever stepped foot in my entire life. So when I saw this spot on Airbnb, I was like, okay, it looks dope, but the pictures didn't even do this place justice. The view is out of this world. They've got the jacuzzi. When you walk into the living room, you're just like, okay, I know a few celebrities have stepped foot in this place. And then after I talked to the owner, he's an engineer, and he was just telling me how Brad Pitt, like all different types of people have come through to this villa. And the thing is, also the neighborhood is the other part of the experience. As soon as you roll through, you're like, okay, everybody in this spot, in this gated community is rich. Like, not they doing okay, no, everybody is rich. And so the place though does come with a price tag to match. So this spot on Airbnb was $1,500 a night. So if you a baller, I'm saying do it. Especially like if it's just one of those trips that you take, you doing maybe one trip a year, fully indulge. But the place had, it was 5 or 6 bedrooms. So if you're going with a group as well, go ahead and enjoy a spot like this. I know a lot of people do that. They go with a group of friends and they enjoy an amazing spot like this. And then one of the things that made our experience even better is I got a private chef, so making breakfast in the morning, fresh juices, mimosas, pancakes, the whole vibe was unbelievable. And I would say the experience would not be as good without the private chef. And so if you actually wanna have, because this private chef didn't come with the villa, I'll make sure I leave his info, so maybe you get a different crib and you wanna get him, I'm telling you, he is certified and good vibes only. So now let me talk about transportation with you when you're getting around in Cabo. So when I first came to Cabo, I rented a car with the homies and we just drove ourselves around. And I think it's one of the best ways to get around cost-wise, effectiveness, safety, just rolling around by yourself. I think renting a car is probably the #1 option in Cabo because it's kind of a bigger place. Secondly, so if you're leaving the airport, you can't take an Uber because they got like that taxi cartel type deal where only certified taxis can leave, and that's what you have to take back to the, basically the Cabo or to your hotel. And then so when you're in town, some places you can take an Uber because they do have Uber, but like you can't drop off. So like for example, say you're staying at the Viceroy, they won't allow you to get dropped off or maybe you can get dropped off, but you can't get picked up with a damn Uber, right? So there's all these restrictions that you have. So one of my suggestions is, if you get a driver there, so if you actually have an Uber after a while and you vibing with him, you vibing with the Uber driver, get his information and then just take him and use him as a driver. So what I did though when I was in town, and so this is not necessary, but just because we roll around with a lot of camera equipment, I actually had private security while I was there, and then they also drove us about. So you could get a driver, and I'll actually link you up with my guy Paulo if you want. It's about $200 a day if you're just rolling with him. And then if you get a bigger crew, more security, obviously the price will go up. But that's with like the car and transportation included. And they pretty much will drive you all day long, and they're super knowledgeable about the areas. But security is not necessary, but just because we have big, expensive cameras. So that's actually how we drove about our time in Cabo. And then the first couple of days when we weren't filming, I just took an Uber and taxis around like everybody else. And the people in Cabo, like they super friendly. And I will tell you this though, if you wanna rent a Jeep, try and reserve it early, because I tried to get a Jeep, we went to like 15 different spots and nobody had a Jeep in stock. So that's one of the things, make sure you reserve your cars early. But let's talk about activities because there are so many things to do in Cabo. And then I was actually there with Jess, and it was actually her birthday. And so she had a few of her friends in town. And so for us, I love hitting the water in Cabo. I feel like it's not an official trip until you hit the water. And so one of the things we did to celebrate her birthday, we rented this super huge, unique catamaran yacht type deal. And this thing was pure vibe. The ladies loved it. So not only can you have like a fully catered lunch on board, they have like the mat that you can lay in the ocean with. You've got like a full staff. We had the DJ, he was from Guadalajara. He was just a whole vibe, had the dreads. I saw some of the women on my Instagram be like, yo man, can you get his IG? Yo. And then just like the entire staff was just super cool. You can also go snorkeling, and then you pass by the arch. But this, and you can have up to 25 people, on this vessel. So it's one of those things that if you have a big group coming, this is actually one of the best ways to experience. We're just having food, popping a couple bottles. Even DJ Millie popped another bottle, man. It was just vibes from start to finish. And then talking about activities, I'm telling you, there is no shortage. I think Mexico might be one of the best places for experiences. And so we went to Cabo Adventures for zip lining and ATVs. Yo, just when you rolled up, you're like, okay, this is not only gonna be an adventure, but it's also gonna be like, just you take in the whole scenery while you're doing it. So everyone was having fun on the zip line. I think I had to do a little bit of work, so I chilled back on my laptop. So they did that, but then I caught back up with them when they were doing the ATVs, and I had so much fun doing that.
So we just finished a great tour at Cabo Adventures. It was so much fun. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared, but we went ziplining, we went across a river on a tightrope, we climbed a rock. It was crazy, but definitely recommend it. It was a great time, and I faced a lot of fears.
And then after you're done with the zip lining and everything, one of the cool things is they have food and drinks for you to enjoy after, you know, a long day of activities. Oh boy, no cap, this might be the best restaurant that I've ever visited in my entire life. Throughout the history of PassportHeavy videos, it was rated one of the top 5 coolest restaurants in the world, and I was like, ah, man, I always hear that shit. No, when I got there, I was like, yo, this is a complete vibe. And then we had like the best table as well. And then the food paired with each drink kept getting better and better with each experience. Because it wasn't just eating, it was an experience. And no wonder this place is called the Monalisa. And then also, I'm telling you, I'm just going back in my mind right now and reliving this. So I just seen like Saturn for the first time. I saw the moon up close. Luis is here helping me. And it really feels different to be like, I've always seen it on TV, but it's, I guess like when traveling around the world, places seem so foreign. But when I just looked at the moon so close up and I could see the details in it, I was like, I actually want to go to the moon. I've never even seen the moon like this. I've never seen Jupiter up close. How is that happening? Because they had the Orion telescope, like this 20 grand telescope to experience it. And then another thing, you go down a little bit further, the bar that's overlooking the water looks like it's made for movies. So the food matched up with the view, good company, the weather, it's literally one of the best experiences that you can have. Put it like this, if you're going to Cabo and you have a tour guide or you have a friend that's showing you around Cabo and they don't take you to Monalisa, they ain't a real friend. Like, I'm like, damn, how nobody never told me about this place before? Make sure you do get reservations because, you know, it's always booked up. The food was so good, I swear to God, I had to go meet the chef, like for real. I was like, take me to the kitchen, the food is that good, I have to just dap him up and tell him, yo, my man, he's doing an amazing job. This is bucket list. I promise you, you come here, you'll thank me, you'll thank me. And you know it's not an official video till the boy gets his hair cut. And so I was looking for black barbers and people who could basically cut black hair. And so they got this spot called the Men in Black Barbershop. This place was fly. They had a price tag to match as well, but there was like no other people in town. So I was like, yo, I'm with it. But I'll list all the details below. You could also Google them. So after getting fresh, man, I wanted to get back on the water, man, because it's just literally one of the things that I enjoy the most. And this time we didn't need a boat because it was just like the 4 of us. And so I hopped on Get My Boat. Get My Boat is like Airbnb for boats. And it's such a dope platform. And they have everything. If you want to get jet skis, if you want a big boy yacht, if you want a small one, anything that you think water activities, you can get it. And I don't need to go into, basically, you know what's inside your bank account. You know what you can do. And the thing is, they have, you know, things for every single budget, which is super dope, and your trips are protected. And so for this, I got like a nice, sleek, cool little yacht, enough for the 4 of us. And then so we just went around. And one of my favorite times to go during the day is either sunset, but also during the day. So when you go snorkeling, you can see like the fish in the water, and it's real nice to go swimming. And so shout out to the captain on there. It was just a complete vibe. I'm telling you, if you go to Cabo, please hit the water. And if you can afford to do it player style, do it, because it's one of those things that you're never gonna forget. And then one thing real quick, so with Get My Boat, since it's like an Airbnb, you can bring your own food and drinks aboard, and so that really helps with costs, where they're not catering stuff. You're like, yo, hop to the store, get your drink, and then you bring that on board, and obviously they can serve you once you are on board. But that's one of the things I wanted to let you know real quick, because a lot of the others, right, are fully catered, they taxing you for all this extra stuff, but when you get that, you can basically, bring your own stuff. And then, so where did we take the boat from? It was actually in the Marina. And so this is actually where they have one of the dopest malls, because a lot of people like shopping or they need to pick something up, and the mall has like pretty much everything that you need, and they got a bunch of restaurants, and then you have people walking around like, hey, you wanna hop on a boat or a yacht? And it's just all these different vendors, restaurants, and then shopping outlets that you can visit. But this place is fly, like get a drink there, chill out by the Marina, it's a complete mood there. So this might have been one of the best trips of my life. The villa was like what dreams are made of. Never stayed in a villa like that before in my entire life. But this outro is a little bit different. Call this the intermission, because we're not done. We got so much more on the way. So I've broken this video, Cabo, into 2 bits. So this is part 1. But I gotta give a big shout out to that man behind the camera, Mr. Badman Yuri. Talia for producing this episode like the queen she is, Isaiah McNeil on the music, Mexico for just having vibey people, Jessica for rolling around with the boy, and then also the entire squad. But like I said, I'm gonna give the big shout out in the next video. Make sure you hit that notification button, and if you ain't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing, but we're gonna see you in the next episode. Let's get it.